Ivan the Terrible and His Son Ivan is a painting by the Russian realist painter Ilya Repin. It depicts the grief-stricken Tsar of Russia, Ivan the Terrible, cradling his dying son, shortly after the elder Ivan had dealt a fatal blow to his son's head in a fit of anger. In this presentation, I'll be analyzing the context of the painting and how Ilya used formal elements as texture, color, composition, and space to leave the viewer with a memorable message. Regarding the historical context, this painting was inspired by the assassination of the Russian Emperor Alexander II, which Repin witnessed during his travels in Europe. At this time, numerous exhibitions in Europe featured gory paintings that depict misfortunes, death, murders, and blood. Thus, Repin was inspired to show the agony and regret in this work. Expected reasons for the murder varied between family disagreements and political clashes. An explanation believes it happened because Ivan Jr.'s wife walked past the Tsar in an inappropriate dressing. Another account claims a political clash about the way Ivan ruled Russia. One of the formal elements that we can see is the sticky texture of the blood on Ivan Jr.'s head, dripping over Ivan the Terrible's hand as he tries to stop the bleeding in desperate attempts to save his son's life. This immerses the audience in the murder scene as eyewitnesses. We can also notice the smooth, shiny texture of Ivan Jr.'s silk robe that shows the audience how luxurious the royal's life was back at this time. If we look closer at Ivan the Terrible, we would realize how the texture of his body plays an essential role in depicting grief and fear. The wrinkles in his forehead show how unexpected and horrific his son's death is. The protruding veins on his hand are evidence of tremendous stress and emotional pain. Also, the spherical shut-out eyes show Ivan's panic state at this moment. Those all give the audience a feeling of sympathy towards Ivan. Another aspect we can see is how the colors range from the edges to the center of the painting. They are dark and faded at the edges. Then, they get more vivid and vibrant as we get closer to the center with the brightest, most colorful main event, pointing the audience sights to the scene of the murder. When considering composition, one of the first things to notice is Ivan's attentive tilt that corresponds to the angle of his son's head, showing intimacy between a father and son. We can also see Ivan Jr.'s hand on his father's shoulder as a sign of peace and forgiveness. Those show the audience how the father-son relationship is stronger than one of the cruelest rulers' ego. Another aspect of composition is the diagonal lines that form the slope of Ivan's left hand and right arm surrounding his son, corresponding to Ivan Jr.'s left leg. This creates an echoing of forms that unify the composition of the painting, making it more comfortable to look at as a viewer. Finally, Repin does a great job of using the illusion of depth to create pictorial space on a flat surface. We can see how the walls in the background are mostly dark, with fewer details and paler colors to show that they are further away from the main event in the front. We can also see how Ivan Jr.'s body is painted to be shorter than normal in this scale to create an illusion of depth. Also, Ivan's arms surrounding his son's waist give a sense of depth created by the overlapping of an object over the other. The pictorial space gives the audience a feeling of immersion in the painting as if they can walk inside and see the event from multiple angles. Thank you.